change now. Do you know that politicians have been talking about change since there's been politicians? The whole nature of politics is, I'm going to get this done when nobody else could. But what is different about this time? What is different about the time that changed and that slogan, which has been used a million times, why did it resonate with us this time? Why did we say, wait a second, I'm starting to feel this thing called change. I'm sensing in my spirit that something's happening. Something beyond Democrat, Republican. But yet, we believe that. Now I have a question for you. What is change?
Come on now.
What is it? See, I was a teacher for 3 years, and I taught theology, literature, and history. And I would tell my kids, I'm going to pelt you with questions. Because one of the problems with the church is that we try to cram all the answers into them.
Come on, preacher.
That's not how learning happens. You want them to get the answers from God.
Come on,
You
man.
lead them along. How did Jesus, when the rich young ruler came, he said, well, you tell me. How many times did Jesus question people and say, whoa, whoa, stop. Well, what is in your heart? So when we say we want change, what are we asking for?
Come on, preacher.
What is change? Sometimes I don't think we really want change. If you look at the church, we want anything but change. Oh, you can't change the Sunday school now. I gotta have my coffee and that's gonna mess this up and this. Shut up. You can't even change Sunday school time and you, oh, I want change. No, you don't. Half the time we don't even know what change is. But when we look at the Word, we really understand it. It means for things to go from this to go through transformation and become that.